When we talk about relationships in film, we often focus on the dramatic moments, the heartbreak, the confrontation, or the sudden twist. But some stories take a different path. They invite us to slow down, observe, and reflect on the quieter challenges that shape a marriage. The story of Kana and Billy belongs to that category. It is a film that does not rely on explosive plot turns. Instead, it asks a simple but important question. What happens to love when trust begins to fade? As the film opens, we meet Billy, a young director with ambition and a genuine passion for his craft. He is someone who sees the world through creative lenses, always looking for the next scene, the next idea, the next opportunity to tell a meaningful story. Alongside him is Kana, a beloved actress and model whose charm comes not only from her public image, but from her kindness and grace behind the scenes. Their early interactions are soft and sincere. They share dreams, support each other's growth, and treat their work in the entertainment industry as a shared journey. It is during this time that they realize they want to build a life together. After marriage, Kana chooses to step back from her flourishing career, not out of pressure, but from a desire to create stability and care for the family they hope to build. The film portrays this choice with sensitivity. It does not romanticize sacrifice, nor does it frame it as a burden. Instead, it shows how love sometimes expresses itself in quiet commitments, gestures that are not always seen by others, but deeply felt by those involved. Their home life becomes peaceful, full of simple routines that reflect comfort rather than compromise. But even in calm waters, small ripples can form. This is where the story begins to shift. In Billy's workplace, conversations about Kana start to surface. They are not aggressive or hostile, but they plant a subtle seed of doubt small enough to ignore at first, yet persistent enough to linger. The film handles this development gently, acknowledging how outside voices can influence a person, even when unintentional. We watch Billy begin to reflect on questions he never considered before. Has Kana truly moved on from her old life? Does she still feel fulfilled at home? Did her choice to pause her career change how she sees herself? These thoughts are natural, even understandable, yet they become heavier as he keeps them to himself. Instead of sharing his insecurities, he internalizes them, allowing uncertainty to slowly shape his perception. The film does not judge him. Instead, it highlights how easy it is for anyone to drift into self-doubt when they feel vulnerable. Kana continues to care for their home and support Billy, unaware of the questions forming in his mind. She senses that something is changing, but she responds with steadiness rather than confrontation. Her silence is not distance, it is strength, the kind that comes from believing that understanding will eventually return. This opening section sets the stage for a story that feels deeply relatable. It reminds us that relationships are not weakened by one big moment, but by many small ones that accumulate when emotions go unspoken. The film invites us to reflect on how trust is built, not through perfection, but through communication, empathy, and the willingness to face uncertainties together. The emotional distance between Kana and Billy becomes more noticeable. What began as a quiet shift in Billy's thoughts slowly turns into a pattern of hesitation. He becomes more withdrawn, more contemplative, and more observant of details that never bothered him before. The film presents these changes with a sense of realism that many viewers may recognize. It is rarely the dramatic arguments that strain a relationship, but rather the unspoken questions that linger in everyday moments. Billy's starting to spend longer hours at work, not because he is unhappy with his home life, but because he is unsure how to express what he feels. In creative environments like his, conversations often drift into personal topics. Coworkers remark on Kana's past success in the entertainment industry, sometimes with admiration, sometimes with casual curiosity. These comments are not harmful in themselves, yet they echo in Billy's mind. He wonders if Kana misses the spotlight more than she admits. He wonders if she sacrificed too much. He wonders whether he has become the reason she put her dreams aside. They are not accusations. They are reflections of insecurity moments when a person looks inward and is unsure if they are enough. Instead of turning these doubts into conflict, the film uses them to explore how easily love can be overshadowed by fear when communication falters. The climax builds gently as the emotional gap between them grows wide enough for both to feel it. There is no confrontation, no raised voices, no harsh words. Kana decides to return to the world she once stepped away from, not because she seeks fame or validation, but because she hopes to rediscover the parts of herself that she put aside. Her decision is portrayed not as rebellion, but as empowerment. It is her way of acknowledging that she, too, needs clarity, purpose, and self-trust. She believes that if both she and Billy can reconnect with who they truly are, their relationship will have a stronger foundation. Kana's choice is not a reaction to conflict, but a thoughtful step toward healing. It signals that the path forward lies not in staying still, but in growing individually and together. And it prepares us for the deeper emotional journey still to come, where both characters will confront their feelings with honesty and courage. As Kana steps back into the spotlight, her intention is not to prove anyone wrong. She simply wants to reclaim a part of herself that she had temporarily set aside. Billy hears colleagues talking about Kana's return and notices the renewed excitement surrounding her work, sparking an unexpected realization. His doubts were never rooted in Kana's actions, but in his own insecurity. As he reflects, memories of her early passion resurface. He begins to see her clearly again, not through the filter of workplace comments, but as the person he genuinely admired. At home, the distance between them grows. Their conversations are gentle but brief, marked by unspoken emotions rather than conflict. Kana senses the shift yet focuses on her growth, trusting clarity will come naturally. The film portrays this phase with softness, highlighting that caring endures, even through uncertainty. Everything changes when Billy watches one of Kana's new performances. Her confidence and authenticity move him deeply, revealing how much he had underestimated both her strength and his own fears. In a quiet moment of understanding, he recognizes that trust must be nurtured continuously. Their reconciliation forms not through dramatic gestures, but through honesty and empathy. The story emphasizes communication, patience, and compassion, reminding viewers that relationships heal when both people choose to listen with an open heart. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it. Subscribe to the channel for more insightful film analysis videos, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us continue creating inspiring and meaningful content. Thank you, and see you in the next video.